I got Stipe in this fight.
Really?
I sure do. For a couple of reasons.
I would bet you, but you owe me $16,000.
For a couple of reasons. One is I think Stipe is a better boxer. And I think that Ngannou is incredibly devastating because he swings wide and hard. But if Stipe can stand on the edge of the pocket, he's a better wrestler. He could double leg him all day, take him down,
Let me ask you this,
him out.
you say double leg him all day.
Yeah.
Name the last guy Stipe's double legged. Even attempted to
Well,
double
he's
leg.
still a D1 wrestler, and you're right. He never uses his wrestling, but that's because he knocks everybody out from Verdum to, he knocks literally everybody out.
Arlovsky over him. Yeah, he's knocked out.
It's unbelievable. And I think he's so good at being able to stand on the edge of the pocket. He's a really good boxer. And I see him standing out there, stepping back and blasting Ngannou. And if he doesn't knock him out, he wrestles him and tires him out. I think the plan would be to wrestle him. I would, if I'm him.
Give me a round.
If I'm him, first round, I take that fucking dude down and I wear him out. Because Ngannou's got so much strength.
You're assuming
Yep.
that Francis can't wrestle.
I am assuming that.
You're assuming
I am.
that Francis actually fought a better wrestler and they get taken down.
I'm.
You're assuming that people say Francis actually goes with the Olympic team, doesn't get taken down.
I've heard that too.
I would bet you, but you owe me too much money.
So are you going with Francis Ngannou in this?
I am. And
Really?
it pains me to say it. I'm rooting for Stipe, but I just don't see it. And for this reason, with heavyweights, you could technically say Stipe is a better technical boxer, but it doesn't really matter. When you're 265 pounds and you're cutting 265 and you're Francis, the technique, you can get away with being a little more sloppy when you're the hardest puncher in the world.
Yeah.
So for Stipe, Stipe's biggest issue is Stipe doesn't use angles, and Stipe goes north to south. He never goes angles, east to west. He always goes forwards. Well, with a guy like Francis, you can't really, there's no room for error. So Stipe in every fight gets hit. If the Alistair Overeem fight, he got
hit.
dropped.
Yeah, he did.
He got dropped.
Yeah.
Arlovsky, he got hit. JDS, he got hit many of times.
Yeah.
Well, with Francis, you just can't.
You can't get hit.
Stipe will trade 1-for-1. Well, with Francis, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can't play that game.
Yeah.
So I don't think Stipe for 25 minutes can play that 1-for-1 and get out of there alive. But I will say this. I think if the fight goes past midway through the second round, Stipe wins that fight.
Because
if Francis can't get it done early.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Francis can get tired. I think, Stipe gets tired too, but I think Stipe is going to have a hell of a time taking him down. And I think from the sheer, power that Francis has, like when Alistair tried to wrap him up and got switched around, you can see the panic on Alistair's face. He's like, what the fuck are we doing?
He's NFL strong. He's crazy strong.
Stupid strong.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have the best technique, but it doesn't matter at heavyweight, really.
It doesn't
They
matter.
hit so hard.
Yeah.
Alistair Overeem has better technique than Stipe, Verdum, Francis. How'd that work out for him? Overeem actually throwing more precise punches. Francis threw from down here. It just...
Yeah, he did. Just swung.
I hope you're right. I actually hope Stipe wins, and then we get a...
Well, Stipe is technically
fight.
a better fighter.
Why do you say that?
Technically wise.
Why?
Better boxing, better wrestling. Right? Ngannou might have better takedown, or might have the kind of takedown defense that makes it impossible to take him down. I don't know.
Well, so I think Stipe is a better overall well-rounded fighter, but that doesn't mean he's a better fighter. When Stipe has that God-given power, where Francis has power,
whoever
touches
wins
you.
at this point, yeah.
Also, the thing that bothers me about Stipe is he's had a lot of freaking battles, man. He's had a lot of wars. And you hear him talk, and it's,
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like most of his fights have been battles.
You ever seen the JDS fights?
Did
you see his last fight against Overeem where he got knocked unconscious?
Yeah. But that, how long did that last? Did that last 2 rounds? They weren't long fights, right?
It doesn't matter.
It was 1 round.
It doesn't. Well, hold on. When you say they're not long fights, what do you mean not long fights? You're talking about the 10 rounds of JDS?
That's crazy. Those are the ones that are long, but everything else has been. So JDS was
first round when he knocked out JDS, but the Overeem one was the end of the first round.
Yep. So these have been short fights. I don't think he took as much beating. Verdum was very quick, right?
But here's the problem, B. So when you say he didn't take much beating, when you get knocked unconscious and have to pop up, it doesn't matter whether it was in the 5th or first round.
Yeah.
Brain trauma is brain trauma.
In other words, your chin gets more glassy.
It's just these huge punches you're eating. His biggest wars were the JDS, which is the one that he lost, which I thought he won. That was a big one for him.
Yeah.
And then that, he smoked. He really didn't get hit. Mark Hunt smoked Arlovsky, smoked Verdum. Alistair Overeem had some damage, won the fight. Junior Dos Santos just murked Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah.
But he's just a different animal.
Yeah. What's his training camp like, Stipe's, versus Ngannou? Because Ngannou trains at the UFC training center in
Vegas, and then he flies back to France with his home team.
Okay.
But you mean as far as who's he training with?
Yeah. Who does Stipe?
Francis,
Stipe's always kind of trained. He'll
train with Weidman, those guys.
Stipe will?
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. He's world champion.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing is working.
Whatever he's doing is working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart fighter. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
I wouldn't consider Stipe a smart fighter.
You wouldn't?
No, I would not consider
Why?
him smart. I would consider Kane a smart fighter.
Why
Kane doesn't get hit. Stipe gets hit. If Stipe will rush in there and get hit, and he'll play that game.
Yeah.
But, and he doesn't use a lot of level changes. He doesn't use his grappling. Name the last guy he took down.
No, he doesn't take it. I don't know anybody who just knocks dudes out. Question is, question is, can he take Ngannou down? So So Francis Ngannou fought. You're saying the better wrestler was Alistair Overeem?
No, Curtis Blades, JUCO national champion.
And Blades couldn't take him down.
Had problems, but this is back in the day. This was like his first or second UFC fight.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions with that. And Anthony Hamilton was Division I wrestler. Curtis Blades, national champion. It's a fascinating fight, and I am curious because in the grand scheme of things, Francis really hasn't done much. He murked Arlovsky and he murked Overeem, who are both long in the tooth. It's not like he's beating a prime JDS, which Stipe did.
Right.
It's not like he murked a Mark Hunt, who still has a great chin.
True.
So
true.
There's all these X factors. And maybe
the only thing is, I wonder how much, I feel like he has so much momentum. Like his confidence is probably sky high. Stipe's got to be thinking about what a liability that power is.
I don't think so.
No?
I think Stipe feels disrespected that he's an underdog as a champion.
Oh.
It's a fascinating fight.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I hope you're right, B.
I mean, how do you, as a heavyweight with that kind of power, can you cover up? Can you parry? I mean, with those small gloves?
Parry what?
If he swings, is the idea to stay? Can you stand in his grill and kind of
you got to get under
block? You got to get under.
Yeah.
You got to get what?
Underhook. You have to close the gap. There's no exchanges.
There's no exchanges.
No, if you're Stipe, there's no.
You're either outside the pocket.
At heavyweight, there's really no exchange.
Okay, you're either at the edge of the pocket or you got underhook.
You're either out or you're in.
Okay.
There's no in between. Especially with Francis.
So fucking hard.
Think about Overeem. Overeem was doing decent, and then he goes, fuck, I'm just swing from the hips and gets fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
You just don't want to play that game.
Not with him.
I don't think Stipe play that game. I do think Stipe is going to be in and out, but it's just a matter of time where, Stipe will play with that danger zone. And with Francis, I just don't think there's a lot of room for error. And it's scary for a guy like Stipe, who generally doesn't have a lot of head movement.
Yeah.
Stipe is very plotty.
Yeah.
Huge head.
Yeah, huge head.
Good chin.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think good chins matter when you're fighting Francis.
I feel like
Francis could, again, we don't know much about Francis. Francis could be all hype. Francis could land that big shot. It doesn't knock Stipe out. Stipe keeps going forward, and Francis like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. And we see him crumble. Mm-hmm. We see him break. Mm-hmm. Although with his history and being homeless and his father being a world-renowned street fighter in Africa on the streets of Cameroon, I would assume Francis has some
mental toughness. Well,
toughness.
According to Rogan, he trains like a fucking beast. Like Ngannou.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
No?
Oh, he trains hard?
Yeah.
Everyone on the roster trains very, very hard.
Well, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like Stipe trains hard.
Yeah.
Stipe trains like a beast.
Yeah.
DC trains like a beast. Ostermeyer trains like a beast.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Yeah.
No, dude, but he's hitting pads hard. They all hit pads very hard.
Yeah.
Oh, Ostermeyer is the only guy who would spar with Anthony Johnson. Really? He's the only guy who would go in there and spar with him.
Jesus Christ.
And go blow for blow with him.
Jesus. Really?
So, but you know what I'm saying? When people are like, dude, he's such a beast. I've heard that from Francis, but all these guys. I mean, Verdum's an absolute nightmare in the gym.
Yeah.
He's a freak.
And whether do you train smart? There's a lot of factors.
Yeah.
A lot of factors.
But, you know, the UFC, you know, they just did the whole Bane thing, you know, with Francis, and they're trying to hype this Francis train up. So you can see why Stipe feels a little disrespected. Mm-hmm. But I hope you're right, B. I hope Stipe goes in there and does work. I think him and a Kane matchup is what we need. But
yeah, I want to see that. I really want to see Kane John Jones. I want John Jones to come back clean, and I want the super fight. John Jones, Cain Velasquez.
Kane needs to fight probably twice before then.
Yes.
You know, he's been out for so long. Yeah. But I'd love to see that too, dude.
Fuck.
I hope you're right, man.
We'll see, buddy.